All right, so I don't know if anybody here today on the Zoom meeting has ever shopped online. If so, some things that we will discuss today will be very familiar to you because it is going to kind of be just the basics of shopping online. We won't get any too complicated or any complicated terms. We're just going to mainly focus on the scams, tracking numbers, order numbers, things like that. And if anybody has any questions, you can always say it in the chat or you can unmute yourselves. So let's get started. So before we start, these are some online shopping terms everyone should know. You may have seen it before, but we'll go over them very quickly. So first we have our order number, and that is going to be the number you're going to use if you have a problem with your order. So for example, your order gets lost, your order comes in broken, it doesn't fit you. This order number is what you're going to use when you call customer service, send them an email, give them a phone call. You're always going to give them your order number. And that is different from the tracking number. So usually when you do order something online, you're going to get an email of the receipt of how your package is going to come in the mail, when it's going to come in the mail, and it's particularly going to have two long numbers that kind of look the same, but it will say order number and then tracking number. So tracking number is different because that is only going to show you where your package is, the date of when it's going to come. Sometimes they'll tell you that it's in a warehouse, a storage center. It's actually on an airplane. So that's our tracking number. And you can actually always copy and paste that tracking number and put it in a Google search, and it will actually tell you where your package is. You can always click on that number, and usually it'll direct you to a UPS website where it will exactly tell you where your package is. And once this package gets delivered to your household, you won't need the tracking number anymore. But it is important to remember your order number, wherever, if it's in an email, make sure you don't delete that email because it's always important to have if your package gets damaged. Then we have something called partial shipment, where that is when one of your orders, let's say you had brought two products, it doesn't get shipped together, it gets shipped separately. So you may get an email that says your order have partial shipment. Maybe one of your order arrives, one of the product arrives, and it'll say partial shipment. So that's what that means. And lastly, we have something called promo code, which is very important when we are shopping online today. You may notice that when you shop online, it says, put in your email address to get 15% off a code. So for a promo code, you're going to want to look out for that anytime that you go onto a website, because at the end, before you officially buy your order, you're going to want to put in that promo code to get that 15% off, 20% off. And I'm actually going to show everyone today how do we find the promo codes, or where should we look out for them, and where to actually put them, because it does make a big difference when you put in a promo code, and it's just going to give you a better deal at the end before you hit that purchase button. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. So if you are new to online shopping, you haven't done it before, some of the most common places that you could just start, be a beginner, is Amazon, Walmart, Target. And those are usually going to have way more than just clothing, or have household items, entertainment, anything, any different category, it'll probably be there on these three common websites. But if you don't shop on Amazon, you don't shop on Walmart or Target, any store that you usually go to the mall to, there probably is going to be a website online for you to look at. So Macy's, Kohl's, Gap, Bloomingdale's, J. Cole, Nordstrom, they're all going to be have a website or even an application that you can have on your smartphone or your tablet. So I know some people also shop on the QVC, which is that television show, and there actually is a website and the application that you can look out for. So anything that's at the mall that you usually go to, you can always find a website for that. But these are just some popular shopping stores that you could take a look at, write down if you want, that usually many people shop at. And Home Shopping Club. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? All right. Okay, so what is an online shopping cart? So basically, every time that you select a product, you're going to see maybe something that says add to cart or this little shopping icon with the number 3 next to it. That is a virtual shopping cart that all your items get added to. And some people may get nervous when they add it to the cart because they think that's automatically going to purchase the item. But actually, this is a kind of like your review button or review section. Every time you put an item into this virtual shopping cart, you can decide to change the size, change the color, the quantity, and you can actually delete the item. So every time you put something in the cart, don't be scared because you can always delete it, remove it. It's not permanent. So usually on Amazon, you may see a button that says buy now, and that's different from add to cart. So when you click on the buy now icon with Amazon, it is going to take you to put in your, shipping address and put in your credit card information. But if you put add to cart, it stays in the review section and you can always remove it if once you read the reviews, you see something that you don't like, you could take it out of your cart. So when we are shopping online, it's very important that we look at 2 things, especially with clothing online, and that is the size chart and the conversions and reviews. So those are the 3 things that you should always look out for. Usually when you are buying maybe a shirt, pants, things like that, it will say next to one of the items, take a look at the size chart, and there are some fancier websites where you can actually put in information of your usual sizes, and it will actually tell you that they think you could be a small, a medium, a large, and it's basically like a small questionnaire that you fill out, and they'll tell you based on the stores that you shop on or based on the sizes that they think you are, you would be a small for this shirt, you would be a medium for this shirt. And that's not for all websites. Usually they just will have the size chart, but more websites I see now have that questionnaire that you can fill out, and it's actually very helpful. But for me, what I like to do is really read the reviews, because when I'm buying items online, usually the reviews tell me that they probably, got an item, let's say a boot, and the boot was way too large and they tell me to size down. And it actually does help me when I'm shopping online. And I will show you later when we are looking at some websites where to find reviews and how to trust reviews. And we'll look at that with Amazon and Macy's and maybe any other website if someone wants me to check that out as well. And then we have something called subscribe and save on Amazon. So when you are shopping online, there are, especially on Amazon, there are things where you can subscribe to items. So you just want to make sure that when you are purchasing an item online, you're just putting it in the cart or you're just buying that particular item. You're not subscribing to any subscription where you have to pay monthly or things like that. So I will also go on Amazon and show you how that looks like. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so we could see here on the screen, this is a listing page example on Amazon. And you can see where I was saying, if we look on the right-hand side, I'm going to circle it. You can see there's two buttons, add to cart and buy now. So when we just add it to the carts, we can always still review it and delete that item. If we put buy now, it's going to take us directly to filling in our shipping address, filling in our delivery address, our credit card information, and sometimes it'll directly just go to your credit card information if you're already a customer on these websites. So just make sure that when you are shopping, especially on Amazon, and you don't know if you want, that particular item, click on the add to cart icon. I'm not sure if other websites have that yet, but I do know that it is on Amazon. But as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, we have something called the reviews or ratings, and you can actually click on where it says 8 ratings to read if maybe you need a size down on the product, maybe the material, people didn't like the material of the item. That's why it's very good to read the reviews. Then here at the bottom, we have the size, or you can change it from small, medium to large. And on Amazon, on their listing page, they have something really good, which is actually they have their return policy right there. So sometimes, let's say if you're shopping on Macy's, they may not have their return policy on their listing page. You might have to search for it. But on Amazon, if we look here where the red circle is, it tells you what is their return policy. If you click on those blue words, it'll send you to a link with the full written of their refund policy. And it'll tell you exactly how can you return it, what are the steps in the process for that.
Yeah, just one thing on the returns policy that you want to check in on. Both what it's going to cost you to return. So for instance, right now at Amazon, if you return it like from your home, if you live in a home where it can be picked up, they're going to charge you like between $3 and $5 to do that. So you really want to be clear on the returns policy and also understand the returns policy as it relates to gifts. So like if you gift someone something from Amazon, you're not going to give it to them with the price and all of that kind of information. So you want to check on what the returns policy is for gifts also.
Mm-hmm.
Just in my experience lately.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay. All right, so after we get all of our items in our online shopping cart, it's now going to go into our checkout section of shopping online. So if we see on the screen, this is a common checkout page and how it usually looks like on all shopping websites. Unless you do have an account with a particular website, this is how it's going to look like for all guests on shopping websites. So we have our shipping address form on one side, we have our order summary, and then our back summary of what's inside of our shopping cart and what we're going to purchase. So one thing that I mentioned was one of the important terms, which is our promo code. So you can see here, right before you hit that purchase button, you're going to have the option to put in a promo code or discount code. Usually these codes are going to be found in your email if you are subscribed to a particular company, or when you are shopping online for the first time, you're a brand new customer to the website, it will say, put your email for a 50% discount, put your email for a 10% discount, or sometimes the website could be doing a sale, and then you would the promo code would be somewhere on the website saying put this code at the ending of the checkout. So usually it does have it on the checkout. It would say promo code, discount code, and you would just type it in, hit enter, and everything that was in your order summary would change to what the discount price would be right before you hit purchase. And if we look over here on the left-hand side, we have something called, is this a gift? So other people have asked me before when I've done this class in the center, how do we make sure that this gets not sent to myself, but to a family member, a friend? And as well, when you are checking out, it's going to say, this is a gift. Once you check that, it will tell you to write the shipping address of your friend or family member you're sending it to, but it will send you still the receipt. So they still won't know that it's coming to their house. So it should always be at the ending of checkout. So always make sure. Usually it would say gift option. Sometimes it will have this little gift icon. It will be different on other websites. On this particular website, it has both. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Okay, so once we fill out our shipping form and we have our order summary, we put our promo code, it's now time to put in our payment, purchase methods, and our contact information. So what I urge everyone is always to provide an email, because this is how you're going to get your order number and your tracking number. Of course, if you don't put an email, and sometimes they'll say you have to now with websites, sometimes it doesn't have the asterisk where you don't have to put the email, but it is important to put your email, because yes, you can just write down the tracking number or the order number somewhere on your paper, but if you have it on email, you can always look back at it, always track your number, and you always have that information. Let's say, for example, your package gets damaged and then you lost your order number because you didn't put your email address. And if you do put your email address, yes, you do get subscribed sometimes to their marketing and promotional emails, but that does come with discount codes in the future, and you can always unsubscribe to those companies if it does feel like you're always getting constant emails from this company. So don't not be afraid, but there are pros and cons to putting email, but I say that it's really important to put your email, just because you can always look back at it and not lose that information. All right. So once we put in our purchase method, we put in our contact information, you're going to get something like this on the screen. So usually, if you don't put your email address, you're just going to have to write down that important order number where that red arrow is. And that is that order number you're going to provide to customer service if something goes wrong or your package never came. That is the number you would give. And at the bottom, we have our tracking number. And usually with that tracking number, you can always just click on it from a website or your phone or your tablet, and it will direct you to a FedEx website or a UPS website where you can always track it every day. So you can click on it the next day, next week, and it'll tell you where it is, where it's traveling, if it's on an airplane. So that's really cool. And sometimes, like, let's say you didn't provide an email address and this is the website, sometimes people click out of this tab because now they're done shopping, they want to move on to something else. So if you don't write down that order number and you clicked out, now you don't have it. Whereas when you have your email address, you can always go back to that email, always click on the tracking number and see your order number as well. And it even says at the bottom order updates, and you can see it says you can get shipping and delivery updates by email and text. And that's also a new thing that websites are doing. Like if you put in your phone number, you can get a message that will say something like your package is on the way, your package should be here in 2 days, or it's been delivered to your home. So if you're someone that would rather get text messages than emails, then you could do that method as well. And that is going to be at the end after you purchase, or you could see that before when we looked at contact information is set to provide an email or phone number. Sometimes you could put both, sometimes you could put one. But usually now with most websites, like I've seen with Amazon, I've seen it with Macy's, you can put your phone number at the ending to send you updates whenever your package should be arriving, if you're someone that just likes that method instead. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so there are some ways when we are shopping online or new things that are coming out for purchase methods. So of course, when you are shopping online, you'd have your debit card or credit card, but credit card is actually a better way when shopping online because you have a lot of fraud, liability protections. You have your insurance. Let's say if you're using it for not just shopping online, but let's say traveling, you may have travel insurance, and most credit cards have return protection. So credit card is usually the way to go when shopping online. But now there are some new methods that maybe you have heard of, maybe not. It's called Google Pay, Samsung Pay, and Apple Pay. And we refer to those as digital wallets. So maybe if, let's say have been on the train recently or on the bus recently, you have seen that people just take out their phone and just scan the Omni thing, right? Instead of putting in their Metro card, they just use their phone. And how those people are paying it is that basically they may have an Omni credit card or they're using their digital wallets. So people that have iPhones would use Apple Pay, and they may have an Apple credit card. They may put a Chase credit card or a Discovery, or they even could you can also put your debit card in there and they pay that way on the train or the bus.
Right, and I just want to jump in for 1 second. We're going to have somebody in the early December come in and talk about the Omni program. So it'll be partly hybrid where they will explain it. And then they're also going to be in the center where they're going to help people actually register for it.
Yes.
That was all.
So yeah, so people have iPhones, have Apple Pay. Android phones may have Google Pay or Samsung Pay, depending on which your Android phone takes. But those are digital wallets. And basically what that does is that your credit card information is going to be kind of converted into a virtual account number. So the card that you have on that credit card is going to be changed virtually, where your real credit card number is hidden on the store that you are paying. So let's say you're paying an item on Macy's, right? And you use your digital wallet like Apple Pay, Google Pay. Macy's is not going to see your official credit card number. Instead, your official card gets hidden and changed, encrypted, and instead they're going to see kind of like a fake virtual number. And it just adds more of a layer of security, so you know that your credit card information or debit card information is getting stored on a more secure server. So think of it as a way where you're not paying through Macy's, you're kind of paying through a middleman. You're kind of paying through Apple Pay, you're paying through Google Pay, Samsung Pay. You're not paying directly to the retailer. And that's kind of how digital wallets work. They're just kind of encrypting your card information and changing those numbers. So it's just a better way where your card can get fraud or stolen because they don't have that official credit card number. They have a fake one that the virtual server in the cloud made up. And that's like the new digital wallet thing, kind of a easy explanation for that. And PayPal kind of works the same way, and PayPal has been out before digital wallets. So you may see when you are shopping online, do you want to pay through credit card or PayPal? And now the new thing is if you are paying on a phone or a tablet, it will say Apple Pay or Samsung Pay. And just before, when you are searching online, not every shopping website accepts Apple Pay or Google Pay yet, or sometimes I have seen that they don't accept PayPal either. But PayPal works the same way with Apple Pay and Google Pay, where you are paying through PayPal. PayPal is changing your card number, and then PayPal pays the retailer. So using these methods is just a better way where you're not directly paying through the retailer. You're paying through another server where they will store your information on a secure place. And you may see these things if you are shopping on your smartphone. You may see at the ending, at the checkout, Apple Pay or Google Pay. But if you don't have your card information on your cell phone or tablet, that's maybe a reason as well why you don't see that. There is a particular app on the iPhone called Apple Wallet, and that is how you put in your credit card or debit card. The same thing goes with Androids. There is a wallet or Google Pay application, and that's how you put in your card. And then you maybe will start seeing, oh, pay with Apple Pay, pay with Google Pay. And I'm someone who usually uses Apple Pay all the time because I've seen that most websites are having that now. Does anybody have any questions on this? Okay. All right, so lastly, we have returns and exchanges. So when you are shopping online, of course, there are different policies depending on the website that you brought the item from, right? So some websites will say you have a 30-day return policy, 60-day, and I even seen so far as 90 days. So I am going to show you today, right after I finish this PowerPoint real quickly, on how do we find the return and exchange policies. We saw earlier that on Amazon, it says it directly on their listing page, but many websites don't. So I will show you how do we find the return policy. Sometimes it is on your email as well, but let's say you didn't provide an email address or you accidentally deleted the email, I'll show you where to find these policies. And returns work if you want to change the size, the product doesn't work, or you just don't like it. And they even will tell you how to return it once you fill out that information. Usually with Amazon, you can drop it off at a UPS where you have to print the return label, where Margie said there is some cost fee depending on
Right,
the product.
also Amazon has the lockers. So
Mhm.
that, for instance, at Rite Aid, if you live near Knowles Crescent, Rite Aid has a big Amazon locker and you can return gifts there. Some of them, the issue becomes if you have something that's very large and needs to be returned, that's where you really have to work with Amazon and how to return it. Because if you buy something big, you're not going to necessarily be able to go to a UPS store with it.
Right. And if you have more questions on returns and exchange, I will be doing a class in December specifically on returns and exchanges where you can bring all your questions and websites where you may have gotten a gift for the holidays from one of your friends and family, may have not liked it, and you could bring in any questions you have or the companies that you got the product from, that we can look together to see what are their return and exchange policies. And that's in December 29th, I believe. And lastly, I have some tips on how to stay safe when shopping online. So these are the rules that I stand by when I shop online, clothing, anything online. Number one is avoid using public Wi-Fi. And I always tell people to avoid using public Wi-Fi because it is not a secure server that you're on. When you're on public Wi-Fi, let's say you're in Starbucks and they provide public Wi-Fi. Yes, that's great to maybe save your phone battery or send a message to your family and friends, but it is not safe when you are putting in financial details on your phone, tablet, computer, things like that, because anybody who's using the Starbucks Wi-Fi, that you don't know the intentions they have when they are surfing the web. They could be a hacker, they could get your information. So when you are using public Wi-Fi, remember you're sharing kind of your information with Starbucks and the other people who are using it. And usually when you do log into a particular Wi-Fi public, let's say even McDonald's, I've seen it, they give you kind of like a term and agreement section where it tells you that how McDonald's can have some of your information that you use when you're surfing the web. So when you are shopping online or want to shop online in the future, just make sure you're not using Wi-Fi at all. So you could just use your data instead. That's a good thing. Or to be on the safe side, use your Wi-Fi in your house, because that is your private Wi-Fi where other people will need a password, so it is secure. Also, never click on any suspicious links. So when you are shopping online, you start putting your email address, things like that. You may get emails from companies, or you may think it is a company that you shopped online with, and it'll say click here to get a $50 gift card, or click here, your password may have been changed, click here, your package is lost, things like that. Never click on any suspicious links. If you do believe something happened to your package, you do believe your password has been changed, always call customer service first, because usually they're not going to ever send you an email that says click on some link to change it right away, unless you are the person who has recently changed the password and then you get the email right away, like a minute after, 2 minutes after, then that is the legitimate email. But if it's a website that you haven't been on in a while, haven't touched it, haven't changed any passwords, it could be a scam email. So watch out for any link type emails. Also, I have a picture here on the left hand side of the screen where we have two symbols. We have a padlock, and then we have the HTTPS. So what these two symbols mean is that the website is encrypted and it will provide security to your personal information. Now, this does not guarantee that every website that has a padlock and HTTPS is going to be 100% secure, because things happen, and sometimes websites can be hacked into if the people who are maintaining the website do not maintain it. So yes, this is a great thing to look out for on websites. Just do not always think that, oh, it has a padlock, it has the HTTPS, great, the website is 100% secure, because anything can always happen to a website. This is just kind of like a thing you should always look out for, because let's say it doesn't have it at all, then it is 100% a scam. Usually with Google now, if you're someone who uses Google Chrome on a computer or your phone and it doesn't have a padlock at all or HTTPS, Google will tell you that the website, you will be endangered with a virus if you enter this website. So yes, it should have it because that's kind of the standard now, but just don't think that 100% nothing will happen. And lastly, we have something where retailers will never ask for your social security, of course, through email. Do not respond to it, delete it, because they will never ask you for that on an email or even a text message. Does anybody have any questions on this part? Okay. So now we're going to leave this PowerPoint and we're just going to quickly look at Macy's and Target, Walmart, just 3 popular websites online, and how do we find, the return, the exchange policies, and just looking at their listing page. So the next time when you are shopping online, and we are going to look at to see if they have any promo codes. Yes. So I'm just gonna leave the PowerPoint, and so I'm using Google right now, and in the Google search bar, let's say we're going to first go and look at the exchange and return policies. So let's say you deleted your email, but you know that you shopped on Macy's, correct? So how it works is that you can just put in Macy's return policy or Macy's exchange policy. So if I just put Macy's return policy, if you look here on the left-hand side of the screen, you could see that we have some websites directly from customer service Macy's.com. And if I click on the website, this is the official Macy's website. We have the padlock. It says Macy's.com. There's nothing else. It's not a scam website. And you can see this is where you want to go to look at any return policies or exchange policies. If you do have any more questions, you can always call the customer service as well. But if you just want to read something online, you would always just put the official company's name and return policy and make sure you are on their official website. And that is for if you don't have an email from them, because I'm pretty sure if you did purchase something on the email receipt, it should have their return policy as well. But Amazon does get a little more complicated because there's so many different categories within Amazon. So let's say we put Amazon return policy and we click on the thing right here, the first one about our return policies. You can see that if we just scroll down just a little, all of these different blue links at the bottom are the return policies depending on what you ordered from Amazon. So let's say it was an electronic, a baby item, a clothing and accessories. They have different return policies depending on the exact item you purchase because it changes depending on which item you got.
Isn't it also different if you're an Amazon Prime member versus just somebody purchasing from Amazon? Because I think there are some differences there.
There may be some differences if you're an Amazon Prime member, just because don't you get discounts with Amazon Prime? So they may have to,
some sellers are Amazon Prime sellers and some sellers aren't.
right.
So when you are ordering, you really need to look at that, because if you're an Amazon Prime person, you may not want to order from a seller that does not use Amazon Prime's policy.
Mm-hmm.
So it is tricky.
If you have the application as well for Amazon, because I know some people may have the app on their phone, there is a category with the return and order section. So like if we look here on the left-hand side, you may see something like this on your Amazon app where it says your orders and return and refunds. So that's how you would find it on the app. If let's see if we clicked on one of these, like clothing and accessories. Let me just circle it for everyone. Yeah, like Margie said, this may be just for the general Amazon and not 100% for Amazon Prime, but it does say for clothing and accessories, you have up to 30 days after delivery date. And then items from the drop collection. So depending on what type of item you got, the type of collection, it may not be eligible for return.
Well,
So
maybe, but it's also saying, this is where I think you just have to look. It's
yeah,
saying there, a return shipping fee will be deducted from your refund.
right.
So it's just, Amazon's great, you know, they make a lot of money off of us. They certainly make a lot of money off of me, but they're tricky and they've been changing their returns policy in the last, I'd say, 6 months. It's definitely tighter than it was. It was a little more liberal before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see by all the categories and the different things that they have that you just have to be very careful when you are shopping and definitely read the fine print because they have a lot of categories of different return policies. Usually with other websites like with Macy's, Target, they'll have a specific policy just for everything. Whereas Amazon, it gets a little different because there is so many sellers as well, like third-party sellers. It's not just through Amazon. Okay, now let's just look at Target because I'm Target return policy. Once again, always go to the official website. Don't read it through any third-party sources. Like if let's say you scroll down, these are just articles from other people that wrote it. You want to always go to the official website. So that's why I'm always clicking the first links that I see here. And then you can see they have a general sentence, but then if we click on view return policy, so you can see right here at the top, they have a general. We are happy to accept returns for a full refund within 90 days for most items. Add an extra 30 days if you paid with Red Card. So Red Card is their membership subscription for Target. So you would get 30 days extra if you were a member, just like Amazon has Amazon Prime as their subscription. But you can see here, once I clicked on return policy, we have many other different categories as well, depending on the specific item that you showed. So you would have to, whatever that you got or got as a gift, things like that, you would have to go through these different questions of what is concerning you or what happened within your situation to find exactly what is the policy for that item. I think with Target, they're not just shopping with clothing, but they also have like groceries and electronics. So they have a lot of policies as well, just like with Amazon. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so since we are on Target already, I'm going to see if Target tries to give me a promo code because I never shopped online with Target, especially not on a work computer. So we'll see. So you could see what happens when you are a new customer shopping on a new website. Sometimes you get a little advertisement that says put your email. Let's see if it gives it to me. I'm not sure if it will. Sometimes it happens when you're like scrolling for a few. Right now they still have deals for the holiday, so their Cyber Monday deals are still happening and Black Friday deals are still happening, but this particular website, it's not giving me any promo code. Sometimes when you first open a website, it will say put your email address for 15% off, but I guess since they have so many deals happening and their Cyber Monday is still happening, they're not going to give me an extra promo code on top of these items. But let's say we clicked on one of these, so we can just look at their listing page, because listing pages should look the same on almost all websites. They're just going to have something a little different depending on delivery, shipping, and subscription type. So here we have a listing page for a new smart TV, a Roku TV. And one thing that I said to always look out for is the reviews. So you can see here, both on Amazon and Target, the reviews are indicated by stars. So we could click on the star section to read all the reviews that people are saying about this television. So if we just clicked on it and we hit show all reviews, what's great about reading the reviews, yes, I did click a TV instead of clothing, but we'll click on clothing right after this. What you can see is that people who also brought the item are showing pictures of their experience, how their TV looks like in their home. You can see here on one of the pictures, their TV broke. So maybe their review probably says that the TV is delicate or something like that. 5 people rating it of what they think of it, how many stars they gave it. But let's look at a clothing item just so you can see. Okay, boots. Okay, let's just click this boot. And then we're gonna go once again to the reviews. All right. You can see here when we are reading the reviews, people are saying what size they got. So this is a child's boot, I think. So this one here, they said that it worked for their 3-year-old grandson, size 12. And they say that it fits for 4-year-olds. The fit is perfect. So you could see with clothing, especially with reviews for clothing, people will say in the comments that you need to size up, size down. The fit is not good. It's too narrow, it's too wide. So that's why I always look at the reviews, especially for clothing. But since this is a child's boot, they're just saying that it works perfect for children 3 to 4 years old. So always look at the review, especially with the reviews. I wanted to try to get a promo code, but Target's not giving me one. Let's see if Macy's will try to give me a promo code so we can try that out. So we're on the Macy's website. They're also having a sale. Okay, right here. Let's look at right here. Right here it says, using the code FRIEND, you could get an extra 30% off brands and 15% off beauty. So right here, it's not even flashy, but it's kind of a header that you may miss if you are scrolling. But if we put in that friend code when we are shopping some of these brands here, it may give us a discount depending on the type of items we put in the cart. So we would have to put exactly like that in capital letters, friend. So let's try it out. Let's pretend like we are shopping for one of these items, and we're going to use friend at the ending to see if we get a discount. So I'm going to just choose the first thing, this Tommy Hilfiger. And you can see here, when you are shopping online, all of these items here, it says extra 30% off use friend. So it will tell you which codes to use depending on the particular item and if it'll work. But you do have to put in that code at the ending of your checkout process, or not, you're not going to get this discount. Sometimes websites do it automatically, but don't be sure that if you don't put it, it will automatically do it. If there is a section to put a promo code and they are giving you the promo code's name, make sure to put it in at the ending of your checkout. So for here, you would put friend at the ending where it says either offer code, promo code, or discount code, and it will automatically change everything in your checkout to the desired discount. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. So that it will be the end for today. I hope everyone enjoyed. Next month, it is going to just be continuing with online shopping, especially for the holidays. So if you want to learn more about return and exchanges or last minute deals, where we'll go over gift cards, getting gift cards online instead of in physical stores. If you want to learn more about shopping on Amazon and Amazon Prime, we'll be going over all of that together next month.